Hello students, in today's video lecture we will discuss about the agostic hydrogen interactions. These interactions play a very major role in homogeneous catalysis. There are many reactions which are homogeneously catalyzed through the use of organometallic compounds as catalyst, which may involve hydrogenation, hydrosylation, hydrocyanation, isomerization, particularly alkene, polymerization, orthometallation, cyclometallations, and hydroformylation reactions. In all these homogeneously catalyzed reactions, these agostic hydrogen interactions play a very important role. Metals can bind to CH, SiH, and even NH bonds of the coordinated ligands. But for this, metal should have a vacant site and should be electron deficient, that is coordinatively unsaturated. So if this is a metal which have n number of L ligands and is coordinated to any ligand, like we can say it is PR2 and one of the alkyl group I am writing as ethyl substituent. So this metal, if is electron deficient and has some vacant site, it can interact with one of the hydrogen of this methyl group in order to complete its 18 electron count. Here we have CH2 and now we have CH2, but the H is now coordinating with metal. Finally we can have L and M, H coordinated to metal and PR2 group as it is, then CH2, then CH2 and metal now forming one bond with CH2 group. So we are getting now a cyclic structure involving one of the metals as its atom, hence it is also referred to as cyclometallation. Oxidation state of metal is increased by 2 units and the coordination number is also increased by 2 units. So these interactions, MCH interactions, M, H, C interactions, they are called agostic hydrogen interactions. This term was coined by MLH Green. MLH Green. And these interactions can result in the transfer of hydrogen from coordinated ligand to metal to form metal hydride complexes. So this is one of the very good method for the preparation of metal hydride complexes. So this was the very basic information about agostic hydrogen interactions. So MHC interactions, they are referred to as agostic hydrogen interactions, and when they will occur when metal is electron deficient and the substituent present on one of the coordinated ligand can share its CH bond electrons with metal. Second thing is that metal should have a vacant coordinate site so that it can easily bind to that CH bond through sigma complex formation. So such type of interactions, MHC interactions, are called acoustic hydrogen interactions. Now, as far as the types are concerned, these interactions are of two types. The first one is open acoustic hydrogen interactions. So these interactions appear to arise between electron deficient metal center and a CH bond, this is very important, and CH bond of alkyl or phenyl groups. So if CH bond is coming from some alkyl or some phenyl groups, these type of interactions are called open acoustic hydrogen interactions. So we have this example now, iridium, we have Cl, we have CO, and here we have triphenyl phosphine as ligand. So here is one of the phenyl ring written separately in order to show acoustic hydrogen interactions. Here we have hydrogen atom, and this metal is iridium is in +1 oxidation state and is a 16 electron species. So we know that now this is the phenyl group, and this phenyl group CH bond can interact with the vacant site present on iridium to form a 5 coordinated species, which can be represented as here we have CO, and now this iridium is interacting with hydrogen of the phenyl group of tris triphenyl ligand. Still the oxidation state of metal is +1. After this bond is cleaved and metal starts forming bond with this carbon also. So we will get a metal hydride complex as well as metal carbon bond. So there will be formation of two new bonds. So one is with hydrogen, this bond is already existing. Here we have Cl, here we have CO, PPH2, and this is the phenyl substituent, and is now this is also coordinated to metal through this carbon atom. Now this carbon atom is at ortho position of this phosphine substituent, that's why this reaction is called orthometallation. This is very good example of orthometallation, and the coordination number of the complex is now 6 and the oxidation state of metal is +3. Now this is an 18 electron species. So there is formation of MH bond and MC bond. So simultaneously we will get MH bond and MC bond. So this was the interaction which was showing the CH interactions of a phenyl substituent. In the similar way we can have the interactions from alkyl substituents also. We have titanium attached to methyl group. There are 3 hydrogen atoms. Here we have a bidentate phosphine ligand and 2 Cl substituent. So this titanium now can interact with this hydrogen atom. This hydrogen atom is coming from methyl substituent or methyl ligand. So such type of interactions are also open acoustic hydrogen interactions. So these are few examples in which we elaborated some open acoustic hydrogen interactions. Now the next category is closed acoustic hydrogen interactions. These agonistic hydrogen interactions can be represented as shown here. Okay, and this is very important. In the last step we studied, if this CH bond is of alkyl or phenyl substituents, they were open agonistic hydrogen interactions. But if this CH bond comes from any allylic or cycloalkynyl substituent or ligand, these interactions are called closed agonistic hydrogen interactions. In this case also, metal should be electron deficient, that is not 18 electron count. Metal should not have 18 electron count, so it will try to complete its 18 electron count. So one more thing which I forgot to tell you, in both these cases we can represent as a 3-centered 2 electron bond. 3-centered 2 electron bond for open agonistic hydrogen interactions as well as closed agonistic hydrogen interactions. It is similar to that of the banana bond which is formed in case of diborane, which we have studied earlier. So in diborane we have also 3-centered 2 electron bond. So this MHC bond is similar to that bond. So now I am citing few examples in which there is closed agonistic hydrogen interaction. So allylic systems, it is not compulsory that allylic system should be from only CH2, CH or CH2 parts, but they can be any allylic system or cycloalkynyl systems. So this is allylic system. We are having metal Mn, it is coordinated to 3CO and is interacting with H as well as carbon atom of this ring structure. In another case we have allylic system coming from butadiene systems. Here we have one methyl group H and there are 2 hydrogen atoms at this position, and this allylic system is again showing closed hydrogen interactions. This complex can be considered as formed from this compound. See here, in this case we have this allylic system and 3 hydrogen atoms at the terminal carbon atom. So this is eta 3 system which is coordinated to metal in this way. Since manganese has 7 valence electrons and each CO group is donating 2 electrons, and eta 3 allyl system will donate 3 electrons. So we have the total electron count 7 plus 6 plus 3 is equal to 16 electrons. So this metal center manganese is 16 electron species. So it can bind, it can coordinate to this hydrogen through closed hydrogen interactions in order to complete its 18 electron count. So in the final product we have this 18 electron count molecule. So metal is undergoing interactions with hydrogen as well as the carbon atom of this methyl substituent. So we can now easily say that the electron deficient metals can interact with the CH bonds of alkyl or phenyl groups through open agonistic hydrogen interactions, and for allylic and cycloalkynyl substituents to complete their 18 electron count. So it is the tendency of each and every complex to complete its 18 electron count. Okay, thank you.